Hi everyone, I'm Jenlyn Bernard, working as tutor in MMM College of Nursing. In this video, I like to present about the fall prevention and management in the hospital. Patient fall in hospital. The patients are getting admitted into the hospital with the different kinds of health issues. During this period, the inpatient fall is the most reported safety practice in the hospitals. It's also the matter of delivering quality patient care. Why fall prevention is important? 3% of hospitalized patients are getting fall in the healthcare centers. In that, 30% of fall ends with injury. Falling delays the treatment. Falls prolongs the hospitalization. The patient will be coming with one health issue and getting treatment. During this process, due to fall and the related injury, the hospitalization will be prolonged. It will be causing the unwanted expenditure to the patient. Now we can see the reasons for fall. Unfamiliar surrounding, illness, clinical investigations and the treatment process, lower body weakness including lower extremity injuries, difficulties in walking and balance, medication effects like dizziness, lightheadedness, wet and slippery floor, when the quality of footwear is poor, weakness and orthostatic hypotension, inability to access the mobility aids, failure to get help. Disoriented patients and mentally challenged patients are very prone to get fall as they will not be able to follow the instructions which is provided by the healthcare providers. Elderly patients, inadequate lighting may lead to fall. Also, unprotected sides and edges of the steps will be causing the fall prevention methods. There are two major methods of fall prevention. One is tailoring practice and the second one is the universal fall precaution. In tailoring practice, the fall risk assessment will be performed on patient. According to the assessment, care plan will be prepared according to individual needs. In universal fall precaution, all the patients will be viewed as they are at risk for fall. So, the standardized fall precaution assessment will be performed according to the institutional practice. There are four main activities in fall prevention. Number 1, universal fall precautions. Number 2, standardized assessment. Number 3, patient care planning. Number 4, analysis of post-fall procedures. Universal fall risk assessment. According to this, all patients are at risk for fall. Everyone has a role in prevention of fall. So, we need to provide the safe environment, assist with mobility, fall risk reduction and engage patient and family in this process. Fall risk assessment tools. There are different tools are available. Stratify risk assessment tool, Mohs fall scale, medication fall risk score and evaluation tools, and delirium evaluation bundle. Standardized fall risk assessment. Use the standardized tool which is provided by your institution. Add the unit level risk factors according to the area like geriatric ward, post-operative wards and the ortho ward. Key factors to assess fall risk factor. Previous history of fall. When patient is having the previous history of fall, they are at high risk for fall. It is happening in the cyclic manner, like it is called as fall cycle. In this, once a patient is getting fall, they will be having the fear of falling again. That may cause inactivity in that individual. Due to inactivity, there will be decrease in muscle strength, and decreased muscle strength will be leading to the imbalanced gait, and that will be increasing the risk for fall. They are at chance they may or may not get fall again. So this will be happening in the cyclical manner. When there is a repeated episodes of fall, again the fear will be more and it will be leading to the inactivity again in the cyclic manner. Second one is the unsteady gait, mobility issues and using assistive devices like walking aids, wheelchair, crutches. When patient is having vision problem, also there are chances when they are entering into the new environment, they are at risk for the fall. The mental status of the patient is so important. When they are disoriented or confused, they are at risk for fall. The effects of medication also put the patient at risk for fall. Especially following the surgical interventions, the patient may be prescribed with opioids or narcotics. All these drugs will be increasing the risk for fall. And during the process of continence, the patient may develop fall. Patient on medical equipments like IV pole or any oxygen tubing or drainage tubing, with that when they were trying to move from one place to other, they are at high risk for developing the fall. Care plan. Prepare tailored interventions based on the patient care needs. According to the individual assessment, the unique care plan can be prepared for the patient. That is, when they want to go to restroom, the patient can be accompanied with a healthcare provider or with a family member. If the patient is at risk to fall from the bed, the needed precautions can be done, that we can see one by one. And also sometimes the patient may need to reach the assistive devices for walking, or it may be the spectacles. So when we keep in the reachable distance, very easily they can access it and most of the falls can be prevented. The common nursing interventions to prevent fall is: complete and document the fall risk assessment and screening, orient the patient and the caregiver about the ward and the hospital environment, demonstrate the call bell system to the patient, keep the call bell within reach, so when the patient is in need, very easily they can take it and call for help, and also ensure the working condition of the call bells. Obtain needed supplies to prevent fall, keep personal possessions in safe reach, use fall risk identification band, scheduled or offering assisting to toilet. Elderly people or patients, those who are having diabetes mellitus, very frequently they may go to toilet. So before they are getting out of the bed, when it is offered to them, we can prevent the most of the fall. Reassess and review the interventions as needed. For an example, the patient might be in the fall precaution due to the medications. So once the medication was stopped, again the reassessment can be done and the nursing interventions can be reviewed. Use bedside rails and handrails at bathroom. Document the fall prevention measures taken for the individual patients. Monitor the change in patient health condition. For an example, when the patient is getting elective admission for surgery, at that moment of admission the patient may not be in need to take fall precaution. But once the patient has come back from surgery, due to the post anesthetic effect and the analgesics which will be used for the patient might be at need for fall precaution. So the needed changes has to be done and the precautions has to be taken. Supervise and train the nursing aides and the patient's primary caregiver so that they can able to help the patient whenever needed. Educate the patient and the family members regarding the fall prevention, not only in the hospital setup, also at home care setup. Use low beds as needed. The bed's height will be set in the lower position, and when we are using the low beds also we need to use the floor mat. So in case accidentally if the patient is falling down due to the height, the risk for injury will be less, and also the floor mat will give the protection to patient. And raise the bed level when we are transferring the patient and also when the patient is in need to get out of the bed. And do not leave the bed at lower level at all the time. The reason, according to the patient height, they may not feel comfortable, especially the tall patients, to get up from the lower bed level. That itself may be leading to the risk for fall. So when it is needed, the cot level has to be adjusted, and when the patient is at rest, it can be lowered. Hourly rounds has to be done to identify the patient needs and the problems, so that most of the falls can be prevented. And the exercise can be taught to the patient or the rehabilitation can be done as needed, especially the balance and muscle strengthening exercise. Home care assessment, planning, education and training has to be given to the primary caregiver. So at home also the patient fall can be prevented following the discharge. We need to ensure the environmental safety at the bedside. So the floor should be dry and there should not be any clutters around the bed, and ensure the caution notification has been kept when the floor is wet or at risk for fall. And safety edges at the steps can be placed so that the patient will know the age and the fall will be prevented. And dry and non-slippery floor has to be ensured to prevent the fall. Patient education. Educate the patient regarding the fall prevention. Encourage them to call for help. Motivate the patient to use the call bell whenever it is needed. Ensure the needed things are kept at reachable distance before they are going to bed, and encourage them to use the assistive devices when they are moving out of the bed. Patient has to be educated to use hand bars wherever it is available in the toilets and other areas, and ensure adequate lighting. Use non-skid footwears and encourage them to accompany with the caregiver so that the fall can be prevented and they can get help as they require. Teach the patient about the 5 S's when they need to get out of the bed. Sit up on the bed first, then move to the sides and sit on the side of the bed, Third, they have to stand up slowly. Then they can start walking in the slow and steady manner. While they are walking, if they find any difficulties, they have to seek for the help. They can call for someone to help them. In spite of all precautions, when the patient is getting fall, when you witness the situation, call for help. Especially if the patient is obese, definitely there will be need for assistance to bring back the patient. So first call for help, then reassure the patient and safely bring back the patient to the bed and assess the patient thoroughly for any injuries. If needed, perform the emergency measures, like in case of any bleeding wound, the dressing has to be performed, and report the fall incident to the nursing authority or the physician according to the hospital policy, and perform the needed investigations as ordered. Make the incidental report as per institutional policy and inform the family members about the fall incident. Have a group discussion to find out the root cause for the fall and specify the type of the fall. Find the preventive measures to avoid the recurrence in future and also modify the patient's care plan according to the needs. Analyze to find out the root cause for the fall and find out the environmental factors. Try to find out the specific timing, whether there is any relevance with the fall. Like during handing over time, the patients may not have much attention from the healthcare providers. Find the need for change and modifications. Find the action plan for the future. There are few proven fall prevention strategies. They are identification of fall risk patients, bed alarms so that we can prevent the fall before it is happening, safety rounds, keeping patients occupied, and provision of safety companion. Here I like to present about a case scenario. There was a 40 years old gentleman with cirrhosis of liver. He was under treatment. He is alert, oriented and conscious. He is partially dependent for mobility. The patient called and asked for urinal for voiding. It was provided to him, but he don't want the nurse to stay near to him at the bedside. So he asked to move out, and once he completed, he will give the call. The privacy was ensured. The nurse was waiting for the call. Meanwhile, the patient fell down. So what might be the reason for fall? The patient is very much alert, oriented and conscious, so he was able to follow the instructions. In spite of that, the patient got the fall. The reason, when it was analyzed, normally the male patients will be standing when they are urinating. So in the similar way, he tried to stand on the bed. As his gait was not steady, he fell down. So we need to see all the possible causes for fall and the appropriate precautions has to be taken to prevent the fall. So here I like to re-insist again, we can follow the 3 steps of fall prevention. The first one is fall risk assessment and making a tailored or personalized care plan according to the patient issues and consistent preventive interventions. It may be by using the universal fall precaution or tailored interventions. In this topic, we have seen about the fall prevention and the management. So 20 to 30% of falls are preventable. Changing our practices and focusing on reversible risk factors can bring great difference. Fall risk screening and assessment is the initial step in fall prevention. Tailored patient care is much needed and very effective in preventing the fall. Preventing fall is the multidisciplinary responsibility. It's not only in nurses' hand, all the healthcare team members and also the patient and family has to work towards it. Structured staff education will be enhancing the patient safety. Patient and family education is highly needed. With their participation, very well we can able to prevent the falls. Prevention is better than cure. So always let us try to prevent the fall before it is happening. I have referred Porter and Perry, Fundamentals of Nursing, and also from the net. Let patient be safe in your hand. Thank you.